For me, I got my start through junior high and high school music program. I actually started out playing drums. So I played drums in my high school jazz combo and big band, and that continued through into university. I played for the U of C big band on drums for 5 years.
Yeah.
From there, I started picking up the guitar more and writing songs more, finding like-minded people and performing around town.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of grown from there.
Great. So, as a space to grow as a musician, what's been good about that for you in Calgary so far?
I find that the music scene in Calgary is very inclusive. I don't get the feeling like it's cliquey. I don't get the feeling like the different groups associated with genres are exclusive. People just want to make good music and hear good music. I found it to be pretty warm in that regard, and we're trying to support that as well with my friend Paul and Carl in a group called Home. We've been running an all ages open mic at the Good Earth Cafe, 17th Ave and 11th Street for the last 6 months or so. Just trying to offer an opportunity for people to come out and play their songs and get a chance to perform without having any real barriers to it. So it's free all ages thing, and that lots of those opportunities are available in Calgary. Cafe Koi comes to mind as a great open mic. Ironwood.
As I was reading some of the information around you, there was lovely big words that were included in some of the descriptions, and one of them was about transcendence. So I was just curious about that and music and kind of riffing off of why that's important or what you would say around that.
Yeah, so just to give some context about transcendence, on my album Luna, the song cycle on the album and the title track talk about the loosely the narrative of the life cycle of the Luna moth, which is a beautiful creature that I think is kind of representative of that concept of transcendence, of changing from one form to another. For me personally, there's an element of transcendence in terms of owning my path as a musician, claiming it as a career, and moving into that space through the album, the release of the album being a path for transcendence. I think also in the song Luna, there's some lyrics about transitioning from like a greed or ego-based kind of mentality to more of paying attention to your place in the world and how you can contribute to society or to the community in general.
So, what do you think is the place of music in society? And I'm asking that question because another phrase that caught my attention was post-apocalyptic.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just thinking about music. Hopefully, we're pre-apocalyptic at the moment. But just what place does music play in our culture, and almost what should it play also?
I think music is a venue for catharsis for many people, a way to work out difficult emotions. I know for me at a certain point in my life that was a vehicle for taking anger or negativity and turning it into something beautiful and constructive. I think it forms connections between people. My lifelong friendships are based on music. The people that I spend time with, the woman that I married, we have a strong connection based on music. I think it's a connector in a very positive way. And I think ultimately my goal with music is to offer people beauty the best I can, inspiration if possible, maybe a sense of solace coming to a live music event and just having a place where you can take shelter and forget about your worries for a while and maybe come up with some new inspiration too.
Lovely. So But I have to loop back to the post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
piece.
Let's go there.
Let's go there. So tell me about that.
This is a bit of a different tack, but there's a little bit of an element of science fiction in the album as well.
Okay.
And there's actually a track called Science Fiction on the album. When I was writing the album, I was deep into sci-fi movies like Gattaca and Ex Machina and the movie Her and that kind of thing. I think it's just topical. There's a very rapid acceleration of our of technology and like how big a role technology is playing in our lives right now, and interacting with those sci-fi movies, some of them like Her, which are kind of like near future sci-fi, where we can see like, what's the end result of all this technological integration. It raises a lot of questions like, is it benevolent? Is there some possibility of like artificial intelligence in the near future? And so all that stuff was running through my mind on the album. And one of the possible outcomes of this exponential technological presence in society is like a post-apocalyptic situation. I think it also ties into some of the tones and textures on the album too. It can evoke a sense of like a post-apocalyptic kind of scenario. It's not that I'm aiming for that necessarily, but it's just something I was meditating on when we were creating the album and realizing like just how much technology is involved in our daily lives right now.
Cool. So, the Calgary Folk Festival, and folk festivals as a phenomena, what do you think they give to the people that come here?
I think first and foremost, it's a lot of fun. It's just an opportunity to let loose and have a lot of fun. Beautiful summer weekend, get together and dance and sing and hang out in the middle of Calgary. That's number one for me. That's what I'm hoping to get out of the weekend. Again, that idea of the connector too, like what happens here with all the workshops between the artists, the opportunity to represent some local groups too, and have some exposure for like local groups. Like I was reading today on your website about how the public library is on the island and they're offering opportunities for people to check out books and check out some of their information. I'm sure there are many different groups at the Folk Fest that are represented, but just getting together and kind of showing what Calgary has to offer from arts and community standpoint, mainly just having a lot of fun.